私の力が必要ならば全力で応答します。
Hey, old man, how's that armor repair I asked you for coming along? Oh, that? I finished it ages ago. Only took me 2 days to rehammer the whole thing. I know you've been taking good care of it, but it's time you put it to pasture. If I were you, I'd stop by the brass shop and choose a new set already. You roast apples here? Doesn't that make them hot? Wait, there's something on it. Something see-through and shiny. This your first time in Norwich, good Sir Fang? This year's new addition to the Count's menu. You won't find it anywhere in stuffy old Oxford. Here, have a taste if you don't believe me. Don't worry, this one's on the house. We're handing them out for free all over the commercial district. Damn it, where'd the chimney sweep fairy go? You, it's your job to get rid of the soot. What have you been doing out here? Come on, good Sir Human, what's the harm? That thing's gonna be falling on our heads soon enough. Once it does, it'll blow away all the soot anyway, along with the rest of your apartment building. That's not the point. Even when you know it's gonna rain tomorrow, you still need to wash the windows. Even when you know a storm is coming, you still need to keep the yard neat. Why? Because you never know when a new potential tenant might show up. You can't just run a business while passing up opportunities for new clientele. Haha, I guess you're right about that. No wonder they call you the Spriggan of this street. Guess there really is no beating a human when it comes to making money. Don't go dying on me, old man. This is all you guys got done yesterday? You're not slacking off on me, are you? I swear everyone's been on edge since they heard Morgan abandoned the city. Even the soldiers are all holed up in Spriggan's Tower instead of making their patrols. Don't you guys see? This is the perfect opportunity. All we gotta do is borrow a little from the guys who won't even notice it's gone. The harbor's off limits? Damn it. And just when Ferry Britain's first ocean liner is docked right there. They say Inabamaru's construction is like nothing else. Do you want us to lose to the Count's Cuddy Sark? I'm sorry, but until the new lumber shipment comes in, there's nothing I can do. I wonder what Lord Spriggan's planning to do about this. Hey Draco, welcome back. I actually started my stream like 10-15 minutes ago or so or earlier, but then I didn't realize like somehow my stream turned itself off, probably because of my keyboard going fucking wonky as usual. But it's so. Alright. Welcome to Norwich, Ferry Britain's only port town. One of the laws passed during the era of the High Queen prohibited the construction of any new iron weapons. So for about 1900 years, there were no iron weapons made in Ferry Britain whatsoever. But Oberon, I thought that was you. You always do stand out. What the hell were you doing in Norwich? Haven't you seen the sky? You used to have those problems and then you bought a SteelSeries keyboard. My keyboard is a K100 Corsair, I think. But then, as my luck would have it, apparently the K100 Corsair keyboard, some units are known to have macro key problems where the macro keys will like automatically go off on their own and start like make your keyboard start typing shit on its own. And the worst part is, like, apparently people have known this was a problem for like over a year at this point, and Corsair has still not come out with like a firmware update for it to fix it. So like it gets more and more annoying the more it happens. So but I don't really have the money to buy a whole new keyboard now, so. Can they just give you a new keyboard? If that were the case, I would have done it a long time ago. But as far as I'm aware, no, they're not going to replace your keyboard just because that's a faulty, it has some bad macro firmware. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this isn't covered. I didn't see like a like any kind of warranty come with this keyboard when I bought it too. So maybe I just didn't select it. I don't know. There's an ocean liner in Fairy Britain. Yeah, that's what I want to know. What the hell? Anyways, that's fucked up for an expensive keyboard. Yeah. And it's just my luck that I decided to go with this one. The worst part is I actually got my K100 keyboard because one of my IRL friends has one, and I saw him have one, and I was like, shit, man, that keyboard looks sick. And I asked him what model it was, and he's like, oh, it's the K100 Corsair. And then when I got mine, I've started running into these macro button problems. I asked him, like, hey, have you ever had any of the have you ever had like this macro key button this macro key problem before? And if so, like, do you know if there's like a fix for it? And he said no, he'd never gotten that problem. So I just got super unlucky. So unlucky both in gacha and IRL, I guess. Oh, you mean those rain clouds? Yes, I did think those were odd, since the rainy season is supposed to be over now. But it's going to take more than a few rain clouds to put a damper on Norwich, right, Knack? Besides, a good actor is never far from where there's fun to be had. Norwich is about to have the party of a lifetime, yeah? Of course the Fairy King's not going to miss that. Haha, you got that right. You really are something else, Oberon. We scoundrels of Norwich knew we were asking for trouble when we broke the law and turned this town into a smithing city. Compared to the Queen's sheer might, this calamity pool is nothing. Thanks, Oberon. Make sure to come by the shop later. The wife's a big fan of yours, you know. Maybe you guys have different OS versions. I'm pretty sure his PC is also Windows 11, but I could check with him to see if he's running Windows 11 or not. Hey Artemis, how's it going, man? If he doesn't have, it sounds like maybe a hardware issue. Maybe, but the reason that was given when I looked around, when I was searching it up online, was that it's most likely a firmware issue. Like, I know the fix to it. It's pretty simple. Just unplug and replug my keyboard, and that'll force reset the keyboard's macro keys, and so it'll stop it from acting up again. At least until I press the macro buttons by accident again. But the fact that it has a random chance to activate its macro keys as I'm booting up my computer for the first time, that shit is real annoying. Damn, who the hell was that? Who was that Earth Clan fairy? He had one hell of an aura about him. How long has he been working in the forge? Got to be more than 200 or 300 years. I know what you mean. Knack, was it? He had the same incredibly obstinate aura as you do. That ain't what I was talking about. Well, if you're curious about Knack, I can take you to a smithy later. I believe he's a low-class fairy who's been around for 400 years, so he pretty much knows everything about the history of smithing in Fairy Britain. 400 years? Even though he's a low-class fairy? It's because his purpose hasn't changed. He's still just as capable a smith as ever. Now, where was I? Oh, right. 100 years ago, Spriggan led Norwich to greater prosperity by rolling back the No Iron Weapons law. The law was originally passed because iron weapons are dangerous to fairies, and having more of them in circulation would inevitably result in more homicides, or in this case, fairicides. But then, between the northern fairies' suspicious activity and the rise in the number of Moors, and, above all, the developments in human technology, it was clear that Fae folk would need to rely on iron again. Spriggan was able to convince the Queen of the necessity, and she relented. Ever since, Norwich went from being a city of fairies to a city where laws of smithing come first. While Salisbury is the only city that grants humans their freedom under Fairy Britain's rules, all are equal under the laws of artisanry in Norwich. Hey, Danny Zev, welcome back. Here, while some fairies have still have human slaves, others respect humans for their skill at smithing. In fact, there are even some human merchants who are so respected that they have a steady pool of fairy labor that they regularly exploit. Maybe if you reinstall Windows in all drivers, yeah, no, I'm not gonna reinstall fucking Windows in all my goddamn drivers just for my fucking keyboard. Ain't no way. Like, it's not that annoying. Excuse me. And besides, my PC is a pre-built, so I don't even have my the copy of Windows that it came with. So much for trying to reinstall Windows all over again. Unless I go fucking buy another copy, and I ain't gonna do that shit either. You mean there are human company owners, slave driving fairy employees here? Finally noticed stream back up. Yeah, sorry about that, Hannah. Yeah, I completely did not realize that the stream had gone off for whatever reason. I don't know why it turned itself off. I'm gonna blame my keyboard for that, because I did notice my keyboard was kind of acting up. But yeah, I'll blame my keyboard for that. I don't know how it automatically turned my fucking stream off, but like I totally did not realize. And I was sitting here wondering like why does my OBS say I have 0 fucking viewers right now? But yeah, and then I looked at my own stream. I was like, oh, I'm not even live right now. Hey, Aragon. Thanks so much for the 37-month resub, man. Welcome back. Hope you're looking forward to all the anniversary stuff tonight. Weird. Only now Discord sent the notification. Yeah. I started my stream up earlier, but again, for some reason, I guess somehow my keyboard turned my stream off. So yeah, like Tamabot on Discord never got the notification for my stream, you know, telling it that, oh hey, I'm live right now. So come check out the stream, whatever, blah blah blah. Excuse me. That's right. That's right. You won't find their stores on Main Street though. They're more under-the-counter outfits. Fairies are pure by nature, which also makes them gullible. There's no end to fairies here who are worked to the point of dying from exhaustion. And they don't even have 1 more pound to show for it. Hey, Omni Stuff, welcome back. Suffice to say, Norwich is known for both its smithing and its loose morals. But then, that's just how it is for all human cities, isn't it? Nice shiny storefronts next to filthy black alleys. And Spriggan, the head of the Earth Clan and lord of the city, hasn't been at all shy about promoting those kinds of ventures. Sometimes it even feels as though he's trying to turn Norwich into a human city. So the fact that there's a calamity pool in the sky here is now kind of judgment on Norwich? Like, is it just nature's way of punishing the city for its misdeeds or something? Of course not. There's good and bad in any city. Norwich is hardly special in that case. It winding up the site of the next calamity is just coincidence, really. Yeah, coincidence, surely. You know, since it looks like we still have some time, why don't we split up for a while? Go visit whatever part of the city interests you. After all, we're trying to save the city from the calamity pool that's hanging right above it. Getting to know it on your own terms before you set about defending it can only be a good thing. Sounds like a plan to me. Besides, I was just thinking I could use some more information on that giant rain cloud calamity pool. Will you come with me too? I think I'd like to visit Nack's Smithy, actually. I could use a good blacksmith to make a magecraft item I've been wanting to try out. I'll go with you then. I'm curious to see what a fairy smithy's like. Besides, I'm your bodyguard. The smithy, huh? I guess I'd only get in the way if I went along too. In that case, how about sampling the local delicacies with me while we look for a place to stay? Really? That sounds great. I'm with you then, Oberon. Then it's settled. Then it's settled. We'll meet back up here on the street around lunchtime. Oh, and while Tuhu shouldn't draw much attention walking around on her own here, I'd still appreciate you looking out for her in case any of the guards decide to question her, Da Vinci. Don't worry, if that happens, I'll just pretend I'm Tuhu's big sister. even though she's smaller than us? Okay, Norwich sightseeing sounds good and all, but first there are two other things we need to take care of. First, we need to find out everything we can about that dark cloud, the calamity pool hanging above our heads. That includes what kind of harm it's doing now, what kind of harm it's expected to do later, whether it's even possible for us to get rid of it, that sort of thing. And the other thing is, haha, guess that one went without saying, huh? Okay, let's start with the stores over on Main Street. We don't have a lot of time, so let's just get in there and ask as many questions as we can, no matter how weird they look at us. A human girl in black armor? I see humans in armor every day since the round table comes here to buy supplies, but I've never seen a girl with black armor among them. She does sound kind of familiar, though. But hey, never mind that. Now that you're here, why not buy some news about the Child of Prophecy? Haha. I've got a story about her battle with Gawain at the Western Ranch, and another about her battle with Tristan in Gloucester. They're both good, trust me, but if you want to know more, you'll have to cough up the more pounds. We know for sure the Child of Prophecy has shown up now. I bet she could even get rid of the Calamity Pool if she ever decides to come to Norwich. You want to know what kind of problems we've had since the Calamity Pool showed up? Ain't it obvious? The damn weather. It's dark, it's windy, and everybody's on edge. Even when you think it's finally going to start raining, it never does. At first, we are all afraid it was going to rain wars on us or something, but now everything's business as usual. Nobody has any idea what might happen if the Calamity Pool ever does come crashing down on us, and I can promise you nobody's ever thought about how we might get rid of it. Morgan's always managed to do something about them when they sprung up in the past, but since she declared she was going to leave Norwich to its fate, we can't even count on that this time. Although, now that you mention it, it is strange. How did the Queen get rid of the Calamity Pools before, anyway? A human girl wearing black armor? Yes, of course I know about her. She's all the customers have been talking about. I don't know the details, but she's famous up in the north. Don't get in my face like that. You made me drop the fries. You really need to keep your servants under better control, miss. Oh, wait, come to think of it, this was all the rage in Salisbury for a while, wasn't it? Buying a human from a ranch while they're still young and raising them like they're your adopted child. They say free-range humans like that can grow up much better than ones from a ranch. Sorry, no. I'm human too, so I don't know anything more about the calamities than you do. I've never seen one before. They say a calamity shows up every 100 years, and every 1,000 years there's a great calamity. But we're well past the 2000th year of the Queen's era, right? To the ranch, 18 naked cowboys at Ram Ranch. So everyone in town's afraid it's finally gonna happen. My wife's so anxious about it that she can't even help me out in the shop anymore. Every morning she blinds herself. Then, when her eyes have healed the next morning, she does it again. Why don't we just leave Norwich if we're that scared? Believe me, why don't we just leave Norwich if we're that scared? Believe me, I've considered it. But there's a reason we can't all just pick up and leave. Just between you and me. On second thought, never mind. I don't need Spriggan's soldiers catching wind of this and breaking down my door. I'm sorry, but would you mind going somewhere else now? My wife is scared enough as it is. Iago was at Axe? Yeah, and he'll show up at the panel in an hour. I guess that's about what we should have expected. If there was something people could do about the Calamity Pool, of course they'd already be doing it. That's true. Before, nobody had heard of her. Now, at least we're getting glimmers of recognition. We'll have to do some more digging in the afternoon. Who knows? Maybe Mash is a lot closer by than we. We're back. Knack's smithy was incredible. I bet he can make the kind of magecraft stuff I can't even describe, and I bet he can do it easily too. Hey, that's a good idea. It'll be like Fairy Britain style vacuum insulation. The only problem is how light we can make it. Since that Knack guy can handle alloyed steel no problem, we might even be able to pull off stainless steel. You two must have had a successful outing if you're already planning mischief together. We're back. We're back, and wow, Norwich's rest areas are amazing. They have this thing called a sauna that's really hot, but also really relaxing. And the fruit juice they gave us afterwards was maybe the best thing I've ever tasted. If we're gonna spend the night here, we should definitely stay at that inn. So their leisure their leisure facilities are that developed, huh? They might not have proper human history's advanced technology, but they clearly have the same ideas. There's no rush to find a place to stay tonight, so let's worry about that later. I'm afraid I don't have much to report, though. Every conversation seemed to be complaints about Queen Morgan and hopes for the Child of Prophecy. You know, stuff like, I can't wait for the Child of Prophecy to get here. We'd give her a hero's welcome if she showed up. She must be an incredible fairy. I don't know what she looks like, but I bet I recognize her instantly. She must be stronger than Queen Morgan, more beautiful than Lancelot, more imposing than Gawain, and kinder than Tristan. If only they knew she was already here. Well, will you keep your voice down, Oberon? You think so? Is that how it seems to you, Tuhu? Well, I guess it's true. I still haven't shown off what I can really do. I mean, I'd better have some kind of hidden power that has yet to reveal itself. Haha, haha. Huh? No way. She's here. She's really here. Everyone, come quick. The Child of Prophecy is here. Huh? Wait, I'm still not ready. You got the wrong fairy. No, wait, that's not true either. I know I might not quite look the part, but oh, fine, it's true. I am the child of. She came here from Sheffield up north through the impenetrable Alvina. She deposed Bogart the Tyrant, and now she's here to save Norwich too. It's her, the Child of Prophecy in black armor. And there she is. I wonder what kind of voice I should give Spriggan. The first voice that came to mind was like the battle cruiser pilot, or the battle cruiser commander from StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2. So I'll try to imitate his voice, I guess. I guess I would technically be giving him a Russian voice, because I believe the StarCraft Battlefield guy, his accent is Russian, or is supposed to be Russian, I think. Good day, Commander. What about Vlad? Vlad is Romanian. I don't know. I don't know if what is it? I don't know if I can do a Romanian accent. I probably don't even know what a Romanian accent even sounds like. He's actually Japanese. Maybe the StarCraft 1 battlecruiser commander was, yeah. I think it's StarCraft 2. He actually does turn. They actually do change him to Russian, I think. But yeah, I'll try my best to give him a like a dignified Russian accent, I guess. Good day, my beloved citizens of Norwich. Please settle down if you would. That's not Russian, but I'll just keep it up anyway. I was planning to announce this at the bell tower with a more appropriate ceremony, but since you are all here now, I may as well take this moment to introduce you. Yeah, it's not Russian, but I'll try my best anyway. It's some kind of accent. Yeah, does he sound Italian? That doesn't sound like. I don't sound like I'm Italian to myself. The Italian accent that I do, I reserve for Peperoncino. That I know at least somewhat sounds like Italian. I don't know about this one though. Maybe like some dialect of Italian, because obviously there's a lot of different dialects of Italian, obviously. But anyways, continuing on. Indeed, this is the very knight who defeated the three Tamlin at Sheffield, and who brought the Bogart the Banished to justice. This is the Child of Prophecy, Tamlin Galahad. I suddenly want pizza. And you suddenly feel an urge to make repeated finger gestures or hand gestures. Just look at all that magical energy. It really is the Child of Prophecy. But why is she with you, Spriggan? Isn't the Child of Prophecy High Queen Morgan's enemy? It seems there has been a misunderstanding. Her Majesty has never once called for the Child of Prophecy's death. If any of you should find her, you are to invite her to Camelot as a proper guest. Okay, that one I slipped in a little bit of an Italian inflection there, so I can see where you're coming with that. Those are the High Queen's own words, delivered directly to myself and my fellow clan heads. That is why I went out to greet her last night and upon her arrival from Odvina. And since I couldn't risk anything happening to our honored guest, I brought my elite soldiers with me to keep her safe. Yeah, I don't know what kind of accent I'm doing at this point. It's something. It's fucking something. Oh, so I guess the Child of Prophecy is going to be taken off to Camelot soon then. Oh no, not at all. High Queen Morgan has never said anything about bringing her there immediately. Rest assured, my good people, I take my responsibilities as your elected clan leader very seriously. While I of course have the utmost respect and loyalty for High Queen Morgan, your safety is my top priority. Which is why I will be having Tamlin Galahad stay in my vault castle. Rest assured, the Child of Prophecy has come to Norwich. We need fear the calamity no longer. So please, my good people, relax and go about your business as usual. If High Queen Morgan should have any complaints, I shall take full responsibility. When's the anniversary of your live stream? 1 hour. We have a ton of accents here in the EU, though. Well, yeah, obviously. But, you know, me as an ignorant American, like, there's only so many accents I can do, so I'm trying my best. That's the Child of Prophecy? Really? Have I just been wrong this whole time? Because that would be hugely embarrassing. Of course not, Artoria. Please, have some more faith in yourself. I don't know who this Galahad person is, but she has to be either an imposter or the real deal. Yes. Either she is or she isn't. Yes. Who would have thought? Right, Tuhu? You've been traveling with Artoria all this... Tuhu, why do you look like as if time just stopped? Just so you know, I will stab you if you go over to the other child's side. What? That smash? Oh crap. Keep cool, Tuhu. If you go into the plaza now... Nope, too late. Oh, I'm surprised to see someone push through the crowd and climb up on stage while I'm giving a speech. You're not from Norwich, are you, human? If you were, you would know exactly what would happen if... Now, it's alright. She's just a human, no threat whatsoever. From the looks of you, you're not from Britain, are you? Then you must be one better... Oh, then who are you here for? Mash, how do you know that name? I don't think we've ever met before. Oh, right, I went by that name in Sheffield, so I guess word must have spread. Yes, I'm Mash, Knight of Sheffield. I'm also known as the Child of Prophecy. As Spriggan said, I came here to rid Norwich of the calamity. I can't promise I'll be completely successful, but I swear I'll fight as hard as I can. Any support you can offer will be greatly appreciated. Wonderful. Just the sort of announcement I would expect to hear from the Child of Prophecy. My people should all be able to sleep much more easily tonight. Now then, we'd best be on our way. You can have her stand down now, guards. Yes, sir. Alright, that's enough from you. Consider yourself lucky you didn't even get punched. Wait, could I talk to her just for a little? I'm sorry, Tamlin Galahad, but we must really be getting back to the castle now. Here you are, a special carriage fit for the Child of Prophecy too. Oh? Why are you crying, my dear? Is something wrong? Huh? Oh gosh, am I? Aren't I? I'm not sure why either. Some of Norwich's soot must have gotten in your eyes. It happens all the time here. Now come, child of prophecy. You must be tired after your journey, and I can assure you that my castle is the safest place in all of Britain. Guards, keep an eye on that human. If you see her going anywhere alone, bring her in. Rough her up if you want. Just don't kill her. That girl is one of the High Queen's guests, too. Having her in our custody can only give us more leverage. That was too close for comfort. I can't believe you went up to Spriggan just like that. He's the head of the Earth Clan and the Lord of Norwich. So, that girl he had with him, who he claimed was the child of prophecy, you're saying that was Mash? Absolutely. Even at this distance, I could tell it was her. Though, I don't know why she's calling herself the child of prophecy, or why she didn't react to Tuhu. Wait, yes I do. Of course, it's the Nameless Woods. I managed to avoid losing my sense of self thanks to my unique memory capacity settings. But in Mash's case, there's a very high chance she's suffering from the same temporary amnesia Tuhu and Artoria had. But Tuhu got her memory back pretty quickly, right? So why is the shield girl still missing hers? I'm not sure. Maybe she ended up gaining some kind of powerful position before she could remember who she really is. Until I get a chance to examine her myself, I can't say anything for sure. Yes, that's very true, Tuhu. I was pretty taken back to see people call her the child of prophecy. But aside from that, the fact that she's still alive and here in Norwich is the best news we could have hoped for. Yep, Spriggan may have beaten us to the punch, but it also looks like he's giving her the royal treatment at least. So all we have to do is create an opportunity to talk to her, which should be only a matter of time. In the meantime, our current most pressing problem is, I know, our unexpected company. You there, with a human. You're all suspected of criminal activity. Come with us. Try to resist, and we'll execute sentence here and now. Spriggan soldiers. What do we do, everyone? Take them down, of course. Right, Tuhu? I'm too old for this shit. Ooh, Scale of Fantasy. The fuck they doing over there? Damn it, here comes another wave. Form a square around two. Don't get caught out alone or they'll pick us off one at a time. Right, that makes sense. They're definitely stronger than I am. I'll say. They might not be bad as the soldiers in Olympus, but they're still ridiculously tough. Guess that's fairies for you. Okay, let me try a flash bomb spell. Oh, right, I used it up at Nax. Good. Those MPs must have heard the commotion. You there, cut off their escape route. It's over for you. Prepare to feel the wrath of Lord Spriggan. Huh? You're right. It is over. For you. This area belongs to the Norwich Merchants Association. Lord Spriggan's private soldiers have no authority here. You're the ones breaking the law. Why, who do you humans think you are? What firm do you belong to, huh? We're part of a provisional militia formed by every firm that was reinstated to help deal with the calamity pool. Our financier is the Count. Need I say more? You've got the Count backing you? Ugh, damn it. Fine. We'll take our leave for now. But this isn't over, MP. Mark my words. It's great that they took their injured and left, but... Yeah, you guys are Norwich soldiers too, right? Well, why'd you help us? Well, we don't know why we were giving these orders either. All we know is that you and me? That's right. The Count asked us to extend you an invitation to his mansion. And any friend of the Count's is a friend of ours. We hope you'll pay him a visit if you have the time. He said he would like to give you all a special welcome as the true saviors of Norwich. And I can assure you, Count Pepperon is a man of his word. Pog! Huh? What does NP mean? Military police. Of course it was me, hon. Oh ho ho, long time no see too. Another night call! Their first reaction to Pepe is, oh my god, he's a night call. Oh my, what is it? What's this now? You're already pulling around 2 new cuties since the last time I saw you. My goodness, fate just loves you, huh, hon? Now you've got local girls fawning all over you as well as Mashy. Oh, if it ain't Pepperoncino. You really made a name for yourself here, huh? I almost didn't recognize. What am I saying? I'm not some starving crow. Of course I recognize you. Only difference is you're seething even more now. Huh. You know this man too, Muramasa. Maybe you can introduce me then. So she's got Muramasa and another beautiful man with her too. Who is that, I wonder? I'm sorry. I haven't introduced myself yet, have I? I'm Count Pepperon, the fabulous, charismatic designer who arrived in Fairy Britain like a comet, and built a brand to rival the Knocker Company in only a month. I hope we can let bygones be bygones and focus on the here and now, Muramasa. And, oh, you are? I see, so you're Count Pepperon. It's an honor to meet you. I'm Oberon, the Fairy King, a servant on proper human history's side. Oh my, Oberon from a Midsummer Night's Dream? Oh, how wonderful. You're just like I always imagined you. I think you and I are going to get along swimmingly. Just look at how similar our names are. Pepperon, Oberon, it's like we've got talent running in the very veins. Do you really know this person too? He, doesn't seem like an ordinary human in multiple ways. What an honor to know you trust me so much too. Okay, I'll start with my story. After all, I'm sure you must be on the edge of your seats, wondering why I'm here in Fairy Britain, and how I came in possession of such a fabulous mansion. Well, not really, no. You came here to kill Beryl in revenge for what he did to Kashtaria, right? You have arrived a month or two ahead of us, around the time we were dealing with Limbo's nonsense. Then, you used your knowledge of proper human history to give yourself an edge as a designer. And now, you're high on your own success, and have everyone calling you Count Pepperon. Sound about right to whom? DVR is so jealous. She's so fucking jealous. Well, thanks for stealing my thunder there, Da Vinci. You're a huge help. I'm surprised you nailed the barrel angle too. Do I really seem like the caring type? Anybody you could do that, you fuck. You're not a genius like I am. I guess I do. I'm not quite sure how to feel about that. Well, gosh, all that trust you have in me is going to make life hard for me as a crypter. Oh, you're still counting yourself as one of those? Kashtari already cut ties with the foreign god, or rather, he showed he was never really on her side to begin with. And since you were always on Kashtaria's side, I thought you'd given up being a crypter back at Olympus. I'm afraid it's not that simple. Besides, David's still out there somewhere. Or still out there. Anyway, this is a whole nother thing. I'm not doing this for Wodam. I'm doing it for me. As a member of Team A, I feel it's my duty to tie up all these loose ends. On another note, how was your battle with Wodam, Tuhu? Was it fun? Or was it grueling? I see. Okay, now I want to hear all about you guys. What can you tell me about the current situation in Chaldea? I see. So there's another threat to the world besides the bleached earth phenomenon. And you came here to stop this collapse. Yep, that tracks. Not really the kind of thing you can just turn your back on. Sounds like things didn't go so well after you made land, though. That's why Mashi isn't here with you. Tuhu, Mash, and I all ended up taking different routes out of the Nameless Woods. Mash somehow ended up in the north, and some of the fairies think she's the child of prophecy now. Do you know anything about how that happened, Count Pepperon? No, I don't. I didn't even know people thought Mashi was the child of prophecy until you told me. But I do know she's definitely not the child of prophecy. For one thing, she's not even a fairy. Exactly. The only real child of prophecy is Artoria, except no substitutes. Well, I don't think you need to be that insistent about it, Gareth. No, she's right. You are the child of prophecy. You did come here with Tuhu. I've heard Ainz's prophecy too. You've got the staff of selection, and you're traveling with a visitor from a foreign land. That right there says it all. You're this land's savior, no doubt about it. And that the fact that you matched the prophecy perfectly wasn't enough. There's also your soul's aura. That alone tells me everything I need to know. So chin up, Artoria. You're stronger than you think. Oh, thank you, Count Pepperon. That said, are you sure it's a good idea to talk about proper human history in front of Artoria and Gareth? Or does Chaldea just not care about secrecy like they used to? I know, Gordy's definitely not going to be happy about this when he finds out. But our master insisted on at least coming clean about our objective. Oh my! How decent of you. But aren't you worried that might arouse suspicion? These fairies will think you're crazy if you go around talking about proper human history here, you know. Oh, you don't have to worry about that. We have no idea what she's talking about anyway. Haha. Likewise. But that's okay. Whatever it is she's trying to do here, we can tell it means a lot to her. Oh my, what wonderful companions you have. You are so very, very lucky. I'm jealous even. The world's full of strong people, smart ones too. But the only way you get dependable friends like that is to live a life of integrity. The only friends I attract are just as selfish as I am. Well, that's not true, Count. Those soldiers who brought us here didn't just respect you for your money, they genuinely trusted you, it seemed like. You're not nearly as awful a person as you make yourself out to be. You think so? Okay, moving the right along. Uh, almost gave Oberon the Pepe voice. Count, do you mind if I ask you something? Oh, not at all, Hon. I'm always thrilled to answer any questions a Prince Charming like yourself might have for me. We need to know We need to know more about what's going on with Norwich and Spriggan. Why aren't the fairies who live here evacuating? What does Spriggan plan to do when the calamity finally hits? Can you tell us anything on either subject? Oh, that's easy, Oberon. One reason the Norwich fairies aren't evacuating is because they don't fear death as much as we do. But the biggest has to do with their jobs and the land. You already know how much the fairies care about the purpose, right? Well, for the fairies of Norwich, their purpose is their jobs. They can't just give it up and look for another. On top of that, they're also being held back by psychological shackles. You see, Spriggan actually sold Norwich's land right before those dark clouds showed up above it. You see, back when he stole Norwich out from under the previous Lord Bogart, Bogart and all the fairies who owned land here were banished to the north, and Spriggan claimed all this land for himself. For a long time, every smith in Norwich rented the land they needed to ply their trade. But now, at long last, the land was put up for sale, and the fairies all work together to buy it for themselves. That includes fairies Spriggan has been exploiting all this time, and fairies who sold everything they had just so they could finally afford their own land. Things were much happier in Norwich after that. But then, the calamity pool showed up in the sky. So these fairies won't leave Norwich because they finally have their own land here, huh? I believe it. To a smith, their forge is more important than their life. They could never leave it, no matter how scared they might be of this calamity pool. Is that why you put your security detail together? Because you didn't think Spriggan soldiers alone would be enough? No, Spriggan's army has no intention of keeping Norwich safe. If anything, he wants the calamity to get here. I expect he'd like nothing better than if he got rid of all the fairies and buildings for him. Now I get it. He's a land shark. That's right. It makes sense. You'd have some experience with this sort of thing, huh, Muramasi? Spriggan never meant to give up this land. He knew the calamity would be coming. It's right there in the prophecy, after all. The part about the disaster befalling the city of iron and soot. So first, he sold the land to the fairies at a high price. And then, once the calamity comes and effectively leaves all Norwich vacant, he'll buy it back for a steal. Norwich's inheritance tax is stupidly expensive. The next generation fairies could never hope to pay it. This way, Spriggan gets both the money for the land and the rights to redevelop it as however he likes. Two birds, one stone, and he doesn't even have to throw. Two birds, one stone, and he doesn't even have to throw it himself. The only other place you'd find a fairy that devious is in proper human history. Are you kidding? That's even more horrible than anything any fairy in proper human history's done. I knew Spriggan was shameless, but I had no idea he was that awful. So that's why the fairies here are still living their lives as usual. No, it's not that. They don't have any other choice. After all, if they left here, they'd be broke and unable to pay next year's existence tax. Man, I knew it was strange. Why were there still fairies who cared about the well-being of their human servants here? The calamity will kill humans too. Now I see. But now I see. Those fairies probably want to run away, but they can't bring themselves to actually do it. Hold on. You said Spriggan has no intention of keeping Norwich safe, right? So then, what if he tries to do something to Mash? Oh, you don't have to worry about her. She had as much magical energy as a Tamlin. There's no way Spriggan can do anything to stop her. At best, he can just stall her by entertaining her in his castle or something. No, the real problem is we no longer have any way to see her again. Oh, right. If Spriggan only cares about saving his own inner circle, he'd never let the child of prophecy leave the castle. The second he let her talk to the fairies in town, Mash should figure out what's really going on. Corpa, it's just business, Corpa. I wouldn't recommend that. Spriggan's castle is the most heavily guarded place in all Britain. It's commonly known as the Vault Castle, and it's like Spriggan's antisocial personality come to architectural life. If they hole up in there, not even the Tamlin would have an easy time breaking her out. I know there's nothing you can do about it now, but you really shouldn't have let Mashy go with him. The only way we'll be able to see her again now is if she leaves the castle of her own accord. I assume this is a restricted formation, so... Straight into a fight already? What the hell? Yeah, Pepe golems. Imagine if they made limit break Mr. thing, like level up to 15, like with Bond. Yeah, and imagine how long that's gonna take though. Damn, that gave me fucking 4 comets. Sheesh. Okay, that's that. Now I have a much better idea of what you're all capable of. Whoa! So those are the famous Norwich treasure golems I've heard so much about. They really do run on pixie dust. I was wondering what you were going on about when you suddenly asked us if we wanted to exercise, but not only did those things turn out to be pushovers, they were loaded with treasure. It is okay if we keep these spoils of war for ourselves, right, Count? Oh, of course, the Child of Prophecy's party has got to live in style. I know, right? Thanks, Count. Come on, Artoria, Tuhu, let's go back to Norwich and spend some of this money. I heard they have a wakame-flavored gelato here that's to die for. I think I'll pass for now, or at least until Muramasa tests it for me. Huh. Wakame-flavored sweets? What, do they sprinkle sugar on seaweed or something? I mean, I ain't gonna turn it down. I'd just rather have plain old gelato. It looks like all the tensions that were building when we first heard what the deal was in Norwich have eased away nicely. I'm impressed, Count. You found a way to help us relax and get a handle on our abilities all at once. Who, me? I was just pawning off some grunt work. You guys saved me the trouble of taking out those golems myself. You really shouldn't be so quick to trust me, Da Vinci. Like I said, I'm still a cryptor. Once this business with Bearer is taken care of, I'm going right back to being your enemy. A cryptor, huh? You said your real name was Myorenji Aro, right? According to Chaldea's database, you were doing dirty work for the Mages Association when Marsbury discovered you. Then he assigned you to Chaldea after transferring you to the astromancy department. That all lines up with what you told us in India too, but that's as far back as your record goes. Since you helped us out in both India and Olympus, and it looks like you're going to help us here too, would it be too presumptuous to say I consider you an ally? And I'd love to know what really makes you tick. Oh wow, that hit me like a bolt of lightning, hon. You really are a genius to come up with a line like that. Really? Was it that good? I never hit on anyone before, so that's good to know. Oh yes, darling. It was simply wonderful. After all, you said it for me, not for Chaldea. Alright, it's not a very fun story, but if you really want to hear it, well, how can I refuse now? So, you want to know what happened back then while I still went by Myorenji Aro? You want to know what kind of person I really am? Well, you probably have a good idea already from the kind of work I did for the clock tower. My family comes from a long line of Shugendo practitioners, specifically Tengudo, the way of the Tengu. It's a sect of Shugendo whose ultimate goal is to have its practitioners, referred to as fallen or corrupted Tengu, arrive in hell. I was good enough at it that everyone used to fawn over me. But, well, me being me, it's no surprise that they eventually decided to expel me. So, once my family stopped being my family, I tied up a few loose ends and put Japan behind me. By which you mean, I killed my entire family and the sect, yes. So, there's no one alive who knows your past then, huh? That would explain why there weren't any records of it. So, why did you do that anyway? Can't it be just because I thought it was for the best? The Myorenji family was a single generation of Hojutsuchi. Our founder managed to form a connection to Sanat Kumara on Mount Kurama after he fell to Tengudo. But his descendants weren't so lucky. They had to undergo long, intensive training to make their bodies superhuman without the power of Sanat Kumara. Isn't that the same shit that Helena uses? Like literally her MP line. In some ways, it is similar to how Muramasa lived. You didn't go to X? Nope. I've been saying for over half a year at this point I'm not going to X this year. You practically kill yourself trying to come up with a special circuit, well, body really, and you can never pass it on to anyone else before you die. That part I didn't have a problem with, though. The real problem was how they went about growing the clan. I was directly descended from the founder, so I was born and raised on Mount Kurama. but all the other Myorenji children were kids they abducted from around the foothills. In ancient times, child mortality rates used to be much higher than now. So back when it was easy to get away with kidnapping the occasional kid to raise as their own, but not now. Plus, if the kids couldn't keep up with the training, they'd be abandoned in the mountains. And even if they persevered, the only thing waiting for them was a fall from grace into hell. If messing with people's destinies wasn't bad enough on its own, the fact that the only choice they replaced it was with death, was death or disgraced Tengu made it even worse. Any group that would keep doing something like that is irredeemable, so I decided to leave the mountain and I killed them all first. Even though they were your family, because they were my family, I wouldn't have cared if they'd been strangers. But since they were my family, it was my responsibility to make sure they never ruined any more kids' lives. What time is it? Around 6:30? Ugh, I only have half an hour. We're only halfway through chapter 9. So much for finishing chapter 9 before the stream starts. That's why I chose to make a clean break with my family instead of sticking with them. Basically, I'm a no-good scumbag who'd rather keep things neat and tidy than honor my crypto obligations. That's probably why I've been helping you guys too. Well, are you convinced? Yep. It turns out you're much stronger than I'm giving you credit for. By the way, purely out of curiosity, how talented were you, actually? Or exactly? Well, if a Myorenji Hojutsuchi can acquire one of the 6 Buddhist powers known as Rokujinsu in 100 years, and that's enough for them to officially be considered a Tengu. I'd mastered 3 of them by the time I turned 10. Jinsokutsu, the power to run at superhuman speeds, Tashinsu, the power to read people's minds, and Rojinsu, the power to know how long I'll live and what my fate will be. Can't blame them for thinking I was some kind of prodigy. Is Aniplex gonna have an official stream? It's not. There will be a stream. It's not gonna be under Aniplex's channel. We'll be doing a restream for it in half an hour. So either stick around on my channel or go find the official Anime Expo channel or the official Anime Expo live stream. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Now you know just how cruel I've been ever since I was born. Don't tell the others about this, okay? I'd like to keep this a little secret. Weird flex, but okay, Pepe. Man, I'm so glad Count Pepperon is a gourmand. That was the first full course meal I've gotten to eat in the 26 days since we first got to Fairy Britain. Aha! I've suspected since we left Salisbury that we might be on different pages there. Okay, this seems as good as any to clear this up, so let's go ahead and do that. You probably feel as though you spent 10 fewer days in Fairy Britain than you actually have. That's because you were unconscious for 10 days after you passed out in the Nameless Woods. And the reason I know that is because you guys showed up at Mike's establishment about 10 days after I started working there. Anyway, it's getting pretty late. I know we have a lot to think about but for now we should make sure we're well rested for tomorrow. We can split up into 2 teams in the morning, and by then it should be pretty clear whether we ought to focus on scouting out Spriggan's Vault Castle or on investigating the Calamity Pool. Okay, good night too. Take advantage of the private room the Count gave you to get plenty of rest, okay? Hey Jason, welcome back. Oh, hello. I'm not cut out for combat like the rest of you, so I need to at least keep a close eye on things. You're turning in for the night, right? You deserve to enjoy a real bit after so much camping out. Now that we have not one but two children of prophecy here in Norwich, there's no chance of Morgan sitting idly by. So I thought I'd go see what's happening in Camelot, at least the best I can. At least as best I can. Don't worry, I'll be back by morning. See you lit. On second thought, I'm just gonna ask you, are you okay? I thought you would insist we head to the Vault Castle immediately when we were talking about Spriggan and Mash. But you didn't say anything. You stuck to the same priorities we've been following so far. I'm sure you want nothing more than to go after her, but as the master of Chaldea, you decided to stay the course. It was the right call, but seeing that face you made, I couldn't help but worry about you. Huh. Well, yeah, I did say that, but damn it, why did I have to say that back then? If only I'd known they'd be reunited so soon. Sorry, just thinking out loud. Anyway, just let me say this. Mash said she still hadn't recovered memories since leaving the Nameless Woods, right? Well, I'm afraid Da Vinci's theory was right. If someone who forgets their name in the Nameless Woods is given a stronger role, that is, a new self, than they had before they lost their memories, they may not ever be able to return to who they once were. I don't know how Mash ended up taking on the role of the Child of Prophecy herself, but did the Mash you know have a role that could possibly surpass it? A role bigger than the responsibility for the fate of the world, with everyone's hopes and dreams on her shoulders? Exactly. It's hard to imagine she did, which means the Mash you're looking for is gone. We only need one Child of Prophecy to uncover Fairy Britain's secrets, and we already have Artoria for that. So I have to ask, do you still need to concern yourself with Mash, even though she might never remember you or go back to being the Mash you knew? Never mind. It's obvious you do. Sorry for wasting your time. I clearly should have known better than to ask. Anyway, I'll be happy to lend you my full support. Anything you want to know about the state of the world, I'll learn for you. Let's go, Vesper. Speedster's out. Whee! Meow. Alright. Let me go to the bathroom, chat. Be right back. Alright. Good morning, honey buns. Everyone sleep well? Okay, before we have breakfast, there's something important we should talk about. For my part, I want to ask you guys something about Norwich's security. But if you have a report you'd like to make, Oberon, please, go right ahead. Thank you, Count. That's very considerate of you. Last night, I did a bit of scouting in Norwich and Camelot. The rain cloud, that is the calamity pool above Norwich, is picking up steam, figuratively speaking. It's swirling around faster now, and I can sense an incredible amount of magical energy I couldn't before. If the magical energy were say, gasoline, there'd be enough to burn Norwich to the ground, basically. He's right. As of this morning, that rain cloud has enough magical energy to rival a gigantic reactor. Exactly how big of a reactor are we talking about here? Is it like the ones the Olympus machine gods used? No, but it does contain enough energy to power all of Chaldea for 2 months. Wow, you Chaldeans really are something else, huh? I can't believe you go through that much magical energy in only 2 months. Anyway, suffice to say, the situation in Norwich is much worse yesterday than it was today. All the townspeople are on edge too. As for Camelot, fortunately, there was nothing major to report. Their only troop deployment was a squad of about 20 soldiers sent to hunt Moors. No sign of any large-scale deployments. Let's see. The only other noteworthy thing I saw was the Queen sitting in an empty throne room all night. That must mean Spriggan hasn't told her about Mash, the child of prophecy yet. Yep, definitely not. Spriggan's greed is working for us there. Even though he's counting on the Calamity, he also wants to make sure his vault castle stays safe. He's got years worth of looted treasure stored there, and he wouldn't want to risk any of it. For all his big talk about how the Calamity could never destroy it, I'm sure he's eager for some kind of insurance. That's why he brought Mash there, so he could make the child of prophecy, quote unquote, at least protect his castle. Unbelievable. What kind of clan head does that? I just hope he gets what's coming to him someday. Agreed. That's just another reason we need to keep Norwich safe. The worst possible outcome here would be Norwich remaining intact as far as he's concerned. Just imagine what would happen to an incredibly unpopular lord who failed to take back his land once next year rolls around, right? You guys can definitely save Norwich. Oh yeah, good point. Anyway, that's all for my report. Sorry I couldn't contribute more. Don't be silly, that was plenty of useful info. Now that we know the Queen's army isn't headed here, we can focus on investigating that rain cloud up in... Count Pepperon, we have an emergency. A large mass of Moors is advancing on the residential district from the ocean. There must be at least 1,000 of them. The calamity's begun. Those of you with homes, stay inside them. Don't come outside or the Moors will get you. Those of you without homes, run for the shelter. Hurry. Damn it, there's no end to them. Where are they all coming from? Stay back. Get away from me. Unintelligible text. More unintelligible text. There's even more over here. Help! Save me! No! Please, let me go. Just let me... What are you doing? It hurts. It hurts. Just pretend me coughing was like a death throw or something. What the hell? Did that Moors just eat a fairy and grow? I've never heard of anything like that happening before. If this is part of the new calamity, then... Hey, someone contact the Count. Tell him we can't hold them back and he needs to give the order to retreat. Those Moors can grow by eating fairies. Human soldiers alone won't be able to stop them. Hurry, it might be too late for the North District, but there should still be time to evacuate the South. That's a whole message from the captain. Please, Count, we need to evacuate now. I see, and here I thought we'd have a little more time. C'est la vie, no? These things always seem to happen when you most desperately need them not, want them not to. Count? Don't worry, I haven't lost my mind. There's no point in telling people to evacuate the city. Spriggan's soldiers have shut the gates, remember? They want the local fairies dead. No, just take them to the shelter we set up instead. That includes the military police fairies as well. In the meantime, I'd like you human soldiers to keep the civilians safe and to hold back the Moors coming in from the harbor as best you can. Remember, the people's safety comes first. That includes all of you. Whatever you do, don't try to fight the Moors yourselves. But somebody has to defeat them, or the shelter will be... Yes, I know. Which is where these people come in, right? Child of Prophecy and company. Oh, then you really are the Child of Prophecy. You look a little more ordinary than I expected, but personally, I like it. Thank you for being honest, I guess. Hold on, are we sure about this? These are Moors we're talking about. There's no way fairies can beat them. I can't imagine how we'd win. I think we should retreat for now and assess the situation. Uh-oh, I'm surprised to hear that from you, Gareth. You're usually so brave. Yes, the Moors may be fairies' natural predators, but that doesn't mean we're helpless against them. Artoria will have Muramasa and Da Vinci backing her up, and 2 has her summoned. I'd say that's enough to fend at least some of them off. Isn't that right, Artoria? You did come to Norway to save it, didn't you? No matter the nature of the calamity, you'll have to face it for your story to truly begin. Yes, of course. Don't worry, I can do this. I can do this, surely. Besides, the Moors don't have any effect on me. I can touch them, no problem. Really? Well then, yeah, this could work. Then it's settled. Get to the main street and hold back the Moors in the South District. I'd go with you too, but I need to stay here so I can command and supervise. If you can just hold them back for an hour, I can get everyone in the South District to safety. Oh gosh. I knew I shouldn't have come back to check on the store. I knew I should have come back to check on the field when I knew a big storm was coming. Oh man, I'm completely surrounded. It's just a matter of time until they find me. Somebody, please help me. Savior, Lady Ash. I'm just a humble fairy who's been making shoes in Norwich since my great predecessor's time. There might even be a legend or two about how he once made shoes for Lady Ash. So please don't let me die like this. Oh, why are the Moors so terrifying? Stay where you are. I'm gonna take care of these Moors right now. Okay, 3 Avenger Moors, and we got one Ruler Moors. Kind of weird. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Black Rail time. Actually, do I want to give her Black Rail, actually? Nah, we need to put Case Cup on her. Actually, 2020, let's see. I think I'll give her this for now. Actually, instead of bringing the that C, I'll give her Demon Ox King here. When's the FGO stream? Very soon, in like less than 15 minutes. Let's see here. Let's try doing this. Maybe decide to stream at night for Clay and Sky, or do it tomorrow. I'll probably do a midnight stream. Probably. So for now, expect me to do a midnight stream. So, what, like 6 hours from now? 7 hours from now or something? Can't join. Good luck on your rolls then. Sorry about that, Art Claus. If you want, you can. There's always the VOD that you can watch afterwards. But yeah. Small bells. Gimme. Okay, we might have time to read through one more section, and then we'll have to switch over to the stream. Are you planning on eventually MP6 here? Yes. I'll try to do it tonight, but I don't expect it to, I don't expect my rolls to be anything amazing, so. We'll see. If my rolls are bad, I'll stop at MP3, and, I'll roll the other copies, next year. Now, get to the Count's shelter, hurry! I'm saved! I'm saved! Thank you, Fairy with the staff. Gareth, you got good eyesight, right? Can you make out what's happening in the harbor from here? Yeah, I can. There's a huge group of Moors head this way from there. I'm counting 30, 60, more than 100. Wait, half of them are going off that way. Forget it. You saw how strong those Moors are. We can't possibly save everyone. Even if one of us falls here, we'll all be dead meat. Don't you get that? You really don't know when to give up, do you? Alright, fine. Alright, fine. You use a command spell on me. It might put me out of commission once this is over, but with the power up, I ought to be able to hold my ground on my own for at least a while. It's not how I choose to finish this job, but it's a damn sight better than all of us biting it because you can't make up your damn mind. Hang on, you can't just... Don't worry, there's no need for that. Take a look at that dust cloud over in the north. It's the other child of prophecy, the one in black armor. She just jumped down from the castle's bell tower and is tearing it to the moors. Whoa, she's amazing. Oh, there's someone else with her, but they're less impressive. They're totally holding their own too, though. It looks like they can stop the Moors over there on their own. Indeed, I guess Spriggan couldn't talk her into staying in his castle. If she can handle the North District on her own, then all we have to do is worry about the South. This is it, everyone. It's up to us to keep Norwich safe. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to let the other child of prophecy over there outdo us. We're going to show her why Artori is the real child of prophecy. Our defensive line won't move an inch.
それは絶えず見た滅びの世最果てにありながら取り回す
Hey Naruto Uchiha, welcome back, man. How's it going? You're in college, graduated high school 4 weeks ago. Congrats, man. Hope you enjoy college. FGO panel starting soon. Yeah, in like 4 minutes. Ooh, 2 more small bells. Very nice. Oh, that's right. We have to switch over now. Okay, React Andy time. Let's see. Pull this over now.